My twin sister's been in a relationship with her boyfriend for 9 years, but he still doesn't want to propose.
What's one more year? Make it 10, and then propose.
My 26 female twin sister, also 26 female, has been in a relationship with, we'll call him Grayson, for over 9 years. Yes, they did start as high school sweethearts, but even then, my sister has always been very clear about what she wants from a relationship. By the way, this comes from user Substitute Bunny on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So, she wants the whole marriage, white picket fence, and kids deal. Conversely, I have always been the opposite, as most twins are. I even was bullied by her and my family that I was too opinionated for a man to ever fall in love with me. It got to the point where my sister said, I just don't ever see you getting married. You'll be one of those single people forever. My reason for not dating was not because of a lack of offers, but because I have a history of trauma, whereas my sister did not. I spent my college years traveling and working 2 jobs to save money and eventually moved somewhere else. Skip to my 21st birthday, which I spent alone in Moscow as I had been studying abroad there. I'd been dating an American guy for most of the summer, and my family knew it. When I came home, my sister claimed that it wasn't a real relationship and that she still considered me a single person who had never had a boyfriend before. I had several that I kept private from my family.
What's the deal with your sister?
I don't know.
What's the deal with your twin sister?
Well, your sister's got hangups. A few days later, I downloaded Bumble and instantly matched with a dorky vegetarian linguist, 24 male, who works for a refugee center who's exactly my type. And we go out on a date. We talked at a tea shop for 7 hours and were kicked out because the shop was closing.
That's cute.
That is kind of cute.
Not getting kicked out, but that's talking for 7 hours
cute.
at a tea shop.
We became official, and I was the first twin to move out of our parents' house.
Take that, sister.
She's probably just jealous.
She's projecting.
She's jelly.
She's projecting.
This caused a lot of drama because both my parents and my sister ultimately wrote me out of the dating sphere. My dad even called me a sleut for hanging out with my boyfriend, even though I was still a virgin at the time.
So OP just can't get any W's. It's just like, yo, you suck. Sorry, OP, but you suck. Your other sister, who's been dating her guy, she's cool.
Yeah, everyone's got it out for OP. After a few months of dating, my boyfriend was convinced I was the woman he would marry. I had no objection because he's my favorite person in the world and has been wonderful at healing my PTSD and insecurities. I told him that under no circumstances could he propose to me before Grayson proposed to my sister. By the time both my sister and I are 23, my boyfriend is tired of waiting on Grayson and even asks him if he plans on proposing to my sister anytime in the future. The man says no, and my boyfriend discusses this with me. A few weeks later, he takes me on a beautiful camping trip and proposes with a custom-made ring.
Take that, twin and Grayson.
My sister is excited because her boyfriend, who refuses to spend money on her, has cited that he won't get her a ring because they're too expensive. But mine only cost about $250 because I didn't go for diamonds. Instead, I have a moss agate as the center stone with sapphires and tanzanites on the sides.
I love that.
And I think we have all been exposed to the internet for long enough to know that the diamond market is incredibly inflated and also is really exploitive and terrible. She asks me to help her design a cheaper alternative engagement ring. We end up on a giant pink moissanite ring, and I know it will cost less than $200, but still looks gorgeous and similar to a diamond ring. She asked me to send Grayson the ring details so he can purchase it and propose with it when he's ready. At this time, my sister and Grayson are living in another state. She moved with him to support his career right out of college. My sister calls me the day after I give Grayson the ring details. She says that they had the worst fight ever over the ring. And my parents side with Grayson, saying my sister is not that much of a catch and it should be entirely up to Grayson when they get engaged.
What's up with the parents now? The parents are like fueling so much gasoline to fire that's like, all right, everyone sucks. Here you go. Daughters suck for some reason. Like, why do you just call it your daughters like that?
Yeah, I would feel like you might want to let her down a little more gently than that. It's true. Sometimes people need a little cold water. Someone's like, why hasn't my boyfriend proposed after 9 years? It's like, well,
I feel like the cold water should have been splashed in my face maybe around year 3, 4, 5, 6.
Who knows? How are you with someone for 9 years and you don't want to marry them? Or you're not already for all intents and purposes?
Maybe they just don't like marriage. I know there's people out there that just don't like marriage, like the idea of marriage.
I had a teacher who wasn't married, but like she was with her partner for like, I forget what they called it, but it's like, it's just, to me, it feels like it's just marriage with more words.
It's like a community.
No, we're not legally married, but we're technically married.
Like, yeah, I've met people like that.
Yeah.
It's like to each their own. If you think that's your ideal marriage or you are married, but there's no document, fine.
This was an absolute betrayal in my eyes because everyone involved knows that my sister wants to get married and have kids as she enters her 30s. It caused a lot of tension around their 6th, 7th, and 8th dating anniversaries. They celebrated their 9th anniversary this past summer, and lo and behold, he does not propose to her. Also, they know that my boyfriend and I got our marriage license when I was 24, so we could file joint taxes and save up for a big wedding ceremony a few years later. Now it's 2024. I'm married to my husband, and my sister and Grayson have been dating since 2015. They are both 26. And there is still no talk of an engagement from Grayson's side. Real quick, knowing now that this is something that's been going on since they were 17, I feel like they might be in a situation of this is what I'm familiar with, is what I'm comfortable with, and I'm not leaving. They're in the comfort zone.
Am I in love with you, or am I in love with the idea of you?
Gross. I know my sister bothers him about it, and I have proof because in their 9th anniversary Instagram post, my sister said 9 years and still no ring. If this man eventually proposes to her, will it be authentic, or is it just going to be a way for him to get her to shut up? I understand that 26 is still very young and that getting married at 24 is a young age, but both my sister and I were raised to be very mature, and were also raised in the Mormon church. Neither of us was ever religious, but our parents are. It's a different kind of mentality than usual 20-year-olds. By the way, we have a different kind of mentality here on the live stream when we go live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. Just tap our profile and you're in.
Guess what? We might even be live right now, but I want to find out, and you should maybe find out a little bit more what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to get married.
I doubt it.
I don't think they're going to get married, and
I think if you were going to get married to this person, they probably would have done it a lot earlier, especially given their the Mormon background, because I mean, I went to school in Missouri with a lot of Mormon people, and they love getting married early. They really do. They get married young. Given that my sister has always been transparent with Grayson about what she wants, this man cannot even promise to propose at some point. An engagement ring would at least show that he's committed to marriage with her. If he cannot do that, then he needs to bow out so my sister can find a man who wants the future she wants. Yes, I know my sister needs to recognize that she should leave him, but she's so in love with Grayson that my parents are convinced they will never get married, and my sister will be okay with that. Reddit, is my sister up for a shut up ring or even potentially no ring? I think that the no ring is what's most likely in the future.
No ring.
No ring with Grayson.
I don't like how you're like, oh, Grayson should break up with her. I mean, I think they should just talk about it, one, first. But two, if she's pressuring him and she's expecting a ring, he's not going to do it.
At this point, if it's been years since the ring pressure began.
I would say
it's been like 3+ years.
I would say at least 3+ years.
Since
maybe 4 years. So
because it was 7, 8.
They started at 17.
So the 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it could be more.
I would say maybe
all these anniversaries. She's waiting for the proposal, and this is not happening. Yeah. So
especially since the sister's mindset is I want a dream wedding. I want the white picket.
Well, yeah, she wants the stereotypical.
If you're really just expecting that, and it's not coming in his vocabulary, it's not even being brought up on his end, I would leave. You're not getting what you want.
Yeah.
You're not getting what you want. I know you want something. I mean, you shouldn't have the expectation I should get married immediately. But if you love someone, and it seems like you do love them, but it seems like sister's at the middle mark and Grayson is at 30%.
Oh, this is what I'll say. If you and Grayson are in love with each other and you guys do have a good relationship outside of the fact that he doesn't seem to want to propose and you're kind of, all about that, then maybe take a step back and analyze what exactly about marriage is so important to you, what aspects of it, what elements of it make it have that level of meaning for you, and then figure out if there's a way that you can find a way to that meaning within this relationship you have with Grayson without getting married or without breaking up and calling it quits because you guys can't compromise on it or whatever.
Yeah, if it's a healthy relationship, if that's the only flaw in the relationship is Grayson doesn't want to get on a knee and propose. Marriage is not on his mindset right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the sister needs to take a step back, or they need to see eye to eye, or at least talk about it and see. It just seems where's my ring? Where's my ring? Where's my ring?
I mean, if
All the
the
single
relationship
ladies.
is good, it's like keep going. But I feel like when
Yeah.
a relationship gets to like 9 years, there's only like
I don't
one
like
of
it.
two things that it is. It's either a good relationship that's working and like they compromise and they work through issues and
You guys
whatever,
have been at it for 9 years, but if you got
or they're just stagnant
Stagnant.
and it's what they know. Which I don't know.
It's-
I would
yeah, I don't
lean
know.
into that being the more likely case because they got together when they were 17.
you don't want to assume, but yeah,
And-
you get together young.
I mean, that would
don't
be
know.
my assumption
But
if I were to make one.
that's our take. That's the end of that story.
It
Wow.
is. That is the end of that story, and
wasn't
we do
our
have
story.
another one.
That wasn't our story, but that's the end of that story. But we have another one.